Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing September 8th to the 14th for the sign of Pisces. Here we go, we're going to get right into it. First message out is calling in your soulmate. Forgiving and learning. And we have passion. Beautiful. Beautiful 3 cards. Nice energy, right? These energies could play together or separately. You may resonate with all or some of these, right? Let's get your animal spirits out and see what that's all about this week. Again, with the animal spirits as well, these could be animal spirits that you're walking with this week or embodying, that are supporting you or bringing in events or experiences. They could also be animal spirits that are resonating with the people that you're interacting with this week. Okay, so just take what applies to you, throw the rest away. We have Panther energy. Wow. Fire, of course. We have the Spider, Earth energy. And we have the Frog. It's been a while since the Frog has come out, but the Frog is a major player, as it were, in my readings. And definitely a regular, right? Shows up a lot. So what are we dealing with when we talk about the Panther? The Panther comes into our lives, fire energy. Certainly comes into our lives to shake us up, to shake things up. The Panther can bring a lot of chaos, right? But the chaos that the Panther brings is meant to purify. It's meant to clear out the old. Sometimes when we need help, right? Sometimes in our lives, we need certain events. These are the type of events, for instance, when something happens and at the time it just seems like a crazy thing you had to go through. But then when you look back on it, you see all of the benefit that came out of it. And you're so thankful that it happened, right? That the event happened and that you learned what you needed to learn, or that, you know, it could be an event that caused you to move out of a particular place. And at the time, it may have been a lot of upheaval, but looking back on it, it was the best thing you could have done, right? So that's Panther energy. It's when life brings us a lot of turmoil and upheaval and chaos. We're not really sure why, but ultimately, once the dust settles, it's all for the better. And so Spider energy is Earth energy coming in. And the Spider is quite interesting because the Spider weaves its web to support itself and its family, right? So the Spider is all about creating a support structure, right? The Spider is the one who's able to create a good support structure for you, for your emotional support and for your physical well-being, right? So Spider is very sort of forward-thinking, extremely creative animal, able to come up with very creative solutions as well to difficult problems. The Spider is the animal, is the person, a person may be resonating with Spider energy when, for instance, they're able to be very creative and support their family, but they may have very little money. They may have very little resources, right? They may not even have a job, but they're able always somehow to put the web together in such a way that they can provide what they need to provide. This is a very sort of resourceful energy, very supportive energy, and certainly in the light of, in the face of obstacles and sort of like, you know, the mountain, the Spider is able, and it's very diligent and consistent, working away to create this beautiful sort of support structure for itself. We have Frog energy, which is water. And now the frog is interesting. It's very much like the beaver in the sense that it is, of course, an earthly creature. It doesn't come from the water, live in the water per se. Although I do believe they are birthed in the water, but they don't necessarily, you know, live in the water like fish, yet they bring the rain. The frog is a purifier, a cleanser. The frog is the type of individual who comes and helps you with your own spiritual purification, your own emotional support. The rains that it brings are cleansing. However, the frog person is usually very spiritual, very emotionally wise and supportive. However, they can become burned out. Oftentimes, the frog needs to be reminded to take time out for itself and take care of itself, lest it also kind of, in a way, almost just dry out, right? Lest the rains dry out for it because it's given so much to other people. And so that is the frog. All right, so these are the three energies. Let's go right into your spreads. My lovely Pisces. And I do apologize for the last few weeks. Your videos coming out late. I just had a lot of videos to put out. And my setup is not conducive to recording everything at once. So it has to be recorded. The readings have to be done, recorded, put out. It's very time consuming. So I do apologize. However, I am endeavoring to make sure that your readings come out on time. All right. So let's get right into your spread, my lovely, lovely Pisces. We're going to pull out about 6 or 8 forecasts for the week. They are time-stamped below. So go ahead and check that out. If you want to go directly to any one reading or forecast, you may decide to go by the forecast by picking the number of the forecast, and that's all in the description as well. So here we go. 3 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, and 5 of Pentacles. Wow. All right, so interestingly enough, some of you are dealing with kind of a third-party situation in the sense that you're dealing with somebody who has been very deceptive. They haven't really told you the whole truth. You're feeling like you're probably just coming out of like a heartbreak situation, a situation where you found out somebody was cheating on you. 3 of Swords is a heartbreak, but it's a swords heartbreak. It's not a cups heartbreak. And so what we get with the 3 of Swords is we get somebody, because 3 is the number for bonding and loyalty. And so why is the heart broken? It's broken because the loyalty has been broken, right? So with 3 of Swords, the heartbreak is a very specific kind. It's the kind of heartbreak that comes from someone who's lied to you, someone who's deceived you. It's the heartbreak comes from someone who has perhaps told you that they loved you and then didn't, you know, or lied to you about that, or in some way insulted your intelligence, in some way made you feel stupid, or you know what I mean? This is where the pain really comes from with 3 of Swords. It's not really so much the kind of pain that comes from someone who just falls out of love with you, but it's more to do with a mental kind of pain, right? When you're not able to trust someone anymore. That's the kind of essence of the 3 of Swords pain. And so that's why we often talk about it as third-party energy, because that's usually involving lies and deceit and that kind of thing. Remember, Swords is communication. It's all about communication and the mental, how we talk to each other, how we communicate with each other. So when we talk about 3 of Swords being a heartbreak, it's because somewhere along the line the communication has been false, right? And so you're dealing with that, and you're kind of juggling right now. I want to say you're really juggling a lot right now, because I think this 3 of Swords has led to an ultimate power struggle, and you may have to move. You might be right in the middle of that this week, Pisces. So what I'm saying is that, like, you may have just now had this argument or this falling out, or you may have just come to this realization with the 3 of Swords, but there's more to come with this scenario. It's almost as if you may be juggling 2 homes or 2 jobs, or you're juggling 2 things now as a result of this. I can imagine, say for instance, you had a fight, you broke up, and now you leave, or someone moves out, right? And now you're juggling, or you've moved out, but you still have responsibilities and bills there. So now you're juggling 2 locations because you don't want to. It's a very messy kind of situation. It's a messy situation of the heart that's gotten messy physically, and will get messier because the 5 of Pentacles is coming up. Ultimately, it's going to be a full break, and you're really going to have to pay. You're going to be paying financially for it, I think. 5 of Pentacles talks about a power struggle where It doesn't come out favorably for you, and you end up paying financially. I've seen this card misinterpreted as the woman being in charge because she's walking in front, which is ridiculous. No one is in charge here. Both people are absolutely destitute. She has no shoes on her feet, okay? The people who are in charge with Five of Pentacles are inside the church. What we're talking about with Five of Pentacles is a power struggle where you and another person or a small group of you are alienated from a larger group or another group because of a power struggle. You have now been ousted into the street. You've been separated, ostracized, and now you're having to pay financially because you no longer are able to have the support of the group. The light from the church indicates to us that sometimes with Five of Pentacles, there is a way back. There is a way to have reconciliation. But to delineate this card down to someone being in charge because they're walking in front of somebody else is an extreme oversimplification and a very kind of Western sort of judgmental way of reading the tarot, quite frankly. So I just wanted to point that out because so many times I see cards interpreted from such a limited Western sort of viewpoint that it's quite incredible. And these are people who are doing readings. So and that's that. Let's get into the next spread. Watch out for this because this is going to cost you, like I said. And this is made for some of you may not have come up just yet, and maybe in the end of the week be coming up. Okay, so this is a very predictive sort of spread for some of you. Ace of Cups, High Priestess, and Eight of Swords. Some of you have certainly fallen in love most recently with someone. You are feeling extremely intuitive. You're feeling very, very kind of like confident about this love. It's feeling very fated and destined. There's a lot of passion involved. However, you have an Eight of Swords there. And the Eight of Swords is my great victim card, my gaslighter card. 8 is the number for boundaries and weaknesses, but Eight of Swords, we find a person who alienates themselves by their own limited viewpoint. This is somebody who holds on to really kind of archaic ideas about society. This can be someone who may be a bigot. They could just be really closed-minded about a lot of things, and it alienates them from those around them. But then they invariably often blame everybody around them because they're alienated. So in this way, this is somebody who's a real gaslighter. He likes to blame the rest of the world for their own insanity and their own bad experiences. So somehow this individual is coming into you. It's quite interesting that for some of you, this could be somebody who comes in. Oftentimes I find the Eight of Swords is someone from a past or someone who knows you, who will generally come into you whenever they see that you are in love, right? Now, for some of you, this could be a past relationship. This is that toxic person that almost invariably kind of like seeks you out. Let me move these up because the light is glaring. Seeks you out almost. It's almost like your good vibes and your good feeling and your love that you're feeling with this new relationship coming in. It's almost like a beacon in the night to someone like this. And they seek you out because they really want to suck some of that energy off of you. Like I said, this could certainly be somebody from the past. Very, very odd, you know, because you have such a nice setup here. And then all of a sudden this Eight of Swords comes in. I find it difficult to believe that this is how you're going to be reacting with this Eight of Swords. I really feel that this is an energy coming into you this week. Please take care and watch out for it, okay? This is someone, like I said, who may be coming in to interrupt your soul, you calling in your soulmate. Another ace, another new beginning for you. Oh, wow. Okay, same type of... different scenario, but interesting. You have an Ace of Pentacles, so some of you have a huge opportunity coming in this week, but this opportunity also brings with it a possibility of a good relationship, right? It brings with it the possibility of the kind of abundance you need to sustain a marriage. It's a really great opportunity coming in, and you kind of take a moment to think about it because you're really looking back now on a very long period of trouble that you've had, strife, tragedy maybe, a difficult period. Nine of Wands indicates a path or stage in your life that has been very, very difficult, where you've really collected a lot of trauma, a lot of baggage, You've collected obstacles that you've carried with you as crutches, but they're really obstacles. But with Nine of Wands, you begin to look back and realize it. You begin to see, you begin to do a little bit of soul searching and reevaluating everything you've been through. And you start to realize how much of what you've been through has been down to these burdens and these wands that you've been carrying. And so you begin to sort of get yourself prepared and gather enough strength for you to ascend to the Ten of Wands, which is where you then lay down your burdens. You're ready to lay them down, right? And it's quite interesting because this opportunity almost comes in and makes you sort of have a lot of daydreams. For some of you, you're going to have a lot of fantasizing and thinking about the last few years. You're going to be daydreaming a lot about it and remembering. You're going to start to have little epiphanies along the way of where you made mistakes or maybe where you held on to things a little bit longer than you should have. This is all part of the Nine of Wands stage where you begin to prepare to let go of these things. There's a Queen of Cups in your future, and it's quite interesting that this Queen of Cups, I think for some of you, is a love interest who's coming into you. This is someone in your life who really wants to exchange expression of love with you. They're really showing you who they are. This could be somebody who's been in love with you for a very long time, coming into your life, wanting to be a part of your life, okay? This could also be someone that you may have dealt with before that has changed in some way. This person may have been a Knight of Cups before and was very uncommitted, and now they're coming back as a Queen of Cups in a sense that they've ascended to this level where they do know who they are. They know what their feelings are, and they know now that their feelings are with you. And I feel, this is what I'm feeling intuitively, that for some of you, this is going to be an old love affair that maybe never worked out in the past because of their lack of maturity. But now, suddenly, like I said, they've kind of ascended, and there may be some room for forgiving and learning. There could be some room right now for you to kind of reignite the passion that you had with them. Their feelings, of course, have not changed. In fact, they've grown deeper because now they're at a Queen of Wands, right? And so for some of you, this is certain part of them coming in is going to be part of you letting go of the past as well. It's a very, very interesting week of new beginnings, new beginning in your career and your abundance level, but also a re-beginning, I would say, of a particular relationship. Seven of Cups, Fool energy, and Empress. All right, Seven of Cups. So some of you have really been daydreaming about a lot of things. You've been daydreaming about the things that you want, the things that you desire. But the problem with Seven of Cups is be careful with Seven of Cups because it's very illusory, it's daydreamy, and oftentimes when we daydream like that, we daydream about unattainable goals. We daydream about achieving unattainable things that are unrealistic, right? And it is all very much an illusion. Be careful also what you wish for with this card. And so you're about to start a new path in life. It's time for you to start to really perhaps take your head out of these illusory kind of ideals and daydreaming ideals and really begin to search what it is you truly desire in your life. Seven of Cups, we see things like vanity, money, a castle. We see the type of desires that oftentimes don't make us happy in the long run. They're not very deep desires, right? They're not necessarily spiritually expansive or emotionally mature or deep love connection. These are very kind of shallow, ego-centric kind of desires. And so be careful when you're dreaming of things like this, you know, especially when you're about to take a new turn here. You really need to be paying attention to where you're going. Sometimes when you don't pay attention, you end up like down a path and yeah, it's not going to take you to what you think. You know, Seven of Cups is definitely the card of illusion. So take care with that. And Empress energy is coming in and basically letting you know that you need to take more care right now of your body, of your mind, of your environment. Do nice things for yourself. Nurture yourself, right? Empress comes in when it's time to really reinvigorate ourselves and get into our own beauty, right? It's good. It's healthy for us. It's healthy for the spirit. It's healthy for the mind. And it's good for the body. Okay, so certainly it's interesting. Some of you may have been too much daydreaming and may have not been paying enough attention to the physical side of life, and the Empress is certainly coming in and letting you know that with this new stage in your life, you must take care of your physical well-being. All right? This is the last. I'm going to do one more spread. 8 of Pentacles, Chariot, and Wheel of Fortune. All right, this is going to be the final one. Some of you have certainly knuckled down to work. Right? Most recently, it could be that you've really been very disciplined, very restricted of yourself, trying to make sure that you master this craft or profession, right? You're trying to attain something in your career that requires a lot of dedication, and you've done that. But the Chariot is about to take off. This preparation is excellent because this Chariot is about to take off down, and where it's about to go, there's a lot of fortunate opportunities coming up, and you have set yourself up very nicely for those opportunities because of all the work that you've put in here. Right? 8 of Pentacles is a lot of discipline and hard work, focus, restricting yourselves, you know, restricting. You can't go out if you have to get to work in the morning, when you have to be awake, you know, you can't spend time or spend money when you're trying to accomplish something great, like what this character is trying to accomplish here, right? And so this is always very good preparation. Certainly when you have 8 of Pentacles hand in hand with the Chariot, certainly you are preparing yourself for a path that may take you to great fortune. Certainly with the Wheel of Fortune, this is now doubling down even more. All right, so for some of you, you're about to go off. Your career is about to take off. I would say for some of you, you're about to start a stage in your life which is going to be very adventurous. You may not be sure of what's happening next, but it's all going to lead down to a it's kind of one of those paths that leads to more expansion of yourself and your career. So this is a very special time for some of you Pisces, and it begins this week. You start to understand that this is going to happen this week. It could be that you have a meeting or an opportunity, you know, some of the opportunities, the Wheel of Fortune sort of opportunities begin to align this week, and you get to see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, guys, this is your reading, Pisces, September 8th to the 14th. I do hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like, subscribe, and share. Help me continue to grow my channel. Hit the notification. But for right now, I'm going to tell you I love you so much, Pisces. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.